Hey, thank you so much for joining us here in the Friday Wrap with Peet and Reet. So much to talk about.
Oh, there is. Incredible.
Just before we come on, of course, we were trying to find our best sides.
Yeah. Is it this way? Look that way. Is it this way? Or is it this way? You can let us know.
I know I don't have one. I already know that.
I don't even know if people really have best sides.
Well, you know, back in the old days, in the classics, and I'm sure they still do it now, but of course they can...
Yeah,
brush and
well,
spray
yeah.
it. People didn't recognize Hollywood stars sometimes because you only ever saw them from
One
their
position?
good side, which was all made up, and so, yeah. Don't want to hide teeth imperfections.
Right.
Sometimes you had nose whistle.
Well, now we can just do it ourselves, you know, bring out the computer and make us look good.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work for me. I just
No?
No.
I think we should take a picture of you, and then we'll redo your hair like dark, like when you were much younger.
Oh, not like my, actually, yeah, just see what I look like.
Yeah.
I actually ran across a picture, and I went, oh my goodness, my hair was black. Yeah. What happened here? I know what happened.
I think it'd be great.
Yeah, I'll tell you what happened. I had 4 kids, still do. And I earned every one of these.
Yeah,
will you dye your hair? Not a chance.
We'll put up a picture of you, and we'll take away lines. We'll darken your hair just to see and see.
If you take away lines, there'll be nothing left. I'll be the invisible man.
We'll match you to old picture back in the day when you were like 25.
Let's do it. Actually, not that long ago, my hair was black for real.
Really?
Yeah, honestly. You forget.
It's been gray since I've known you.
I know it hasn't.
Mine has. I just color it. So
we digress.
So good. It's getting back to what we're supposed to talk about.
I want to talk about the Botchskers.
The Botchkers? The Oscars?
Yeah, I meant it was botched, right?
Yeah.
The Oscars.
Yeah. Why?
Because it was exactly what
terrible.
it was. You know what? Jimmy Kimmel was okay in the beginning. But then he just kept beating on Trump and beating on Trump.
Once is funny, a whole bunch of times not funny anymore.
Yeah, and it's just too much. And then he would fly down little gifts to these people like licorice and different things, right? The coolest thing they did...
Like they need anything.
Yeah, I know. Again, right? They already got their $200,000, or no, probably $300,000 gift bags.
Yeah.
But the coolest thing he did, which I thought was really cool, but went a little long, is there was a tour bus. You know, you go around to see the homes of Hollywood, which really were probably the homes like 30 years ago, and nobody lives in there right now. Yeah. But anyways, they're on the bus, and they picked it off, and what they did is just set it up to come in the back door saying they were going to see a museum, and they walked them right into the middle of the Oscars.
Nice.
And so they got to take pictures.
Sweet. Yeah, I didn't see that part. I was probably in the washroom.
Yeah. Most people were in the washroom.
Like sometimes that happens at the Oscars.
Now, just so you know, and see, Hollywood thinks they have all this power and they can say whatever they want about Trump. Guess what, folks? People are starting not to care. The lowest ever rated Oscars.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there wasn't much. I mean, Moonlight, it won Best Oscar, right? Emma Stone, Best Actress, and Casey Affleck, Best Actor. Other than that, like I said before, the best part for me was seeing the dresses beforehand. The one I liked a lot was Selma Hayek. Her black dress was
That's the only one I liked. I thought everything else looked heinous.
Well, especially Janelle Monáe. Oh my gosh, the black frock she wore barely had leaves to cover her boobs. Yeah. And it was like this wide. It looked like something out of the Victorian era. It was horrific.
Now, they were way more conservative than the Grammys.
Yeah.
This was pretty much closed up, right? So
yeah, they were. It wasn't like down to your navel.
When I looked at some of that stuff, and I meant this sincerely, I said to myself, I didn't say it out loud because my wife would have laughed, I could have designed better dresses. I mean, seriously, I could sit here and draw one right now that would look better than some of the stuff they're wearing. And who looks at it and goes, I've got to get one of those. Yeah, I want to wear one of those.
Well, for one thing, they'd be really expensive. And yeah, some of the designs, from China? They're too extreme. You know, make it elegant. What happened to back in the day, like Grace Kelly, who was always elegant?
Yeah, exactly. Those days are long gone. And I will say, though, you want to talk about some class? Ryan Gosling had great class throughout that whole show. He was always smiling. He was having a great time. I think in the back of his mind, it hurts not to get it. And he was up against some stiff competition. Emma Stone was nowhere near as stiff competition as he had. Right?
No, but it's at least great to get nominated.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say you were nominee, something.
Want to hear something really cool? Well, listen to this. When all those people came in off the bus, Ryan, the stuff he got that night, he gave it.
See, that's cool.
That was very cool.
Yeah, very, very.
Now, at the end, of course, there was the big botch, okay, where La La Land got the Oscar, and
Yeah.
they were saying thank you, la la la
Yeah,
la.
and it wasn't.
But because I'm in television, right? I'm watching the director, stage floor director, come up. He's got stuff, and he grabs the envelope
yeah.
and then runs off, and I'm going,
Uh-oh.
something's not right. Then Gosling wasn't there. He was not up there.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, why isn't he up there? So they already knew something was going on.
Yeah, yeah. Why was there 2 envelopes?
Good question. But the guy who gave 2 envelopes,
He's no longer employed.
Banned for life. He's banned for life from anything to do with the
Whatever
Academy
the
Awards.
accountant that keeps the things is, he's gone.
So one more time, we're just going to say this. In case anybody's listening, stop being political at the awards. We don't care what you have to say. Come show us your nice dresses, what you can afford, what you're wearing, your nice jewelry.
Talk about your movies and
Yeah.
all the people you need to thank and your families and everything, and that would be fantastic.
Yeah, we would love it, and we might watch it. The only reason I watch it is because we have to talk about it.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I wouldn't watch it either.
Me too.
I have to be honest with you. Joint session of Congress with the President of the United States a couple of days back.
Some more bitching and whining after that.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, if it's sitting there as Canadians watching what he's promising you as Americans, I don't get it. And you sit there, and here's something. When you voted for the people you voted for in the United States of America or in any country, but when you look at the Congress and you look at people that are, Trump was talking about the military, how he wants to protect them.
Yeah, and give a lot more money to the military.
Reduce the taxes.
Yeah.
All kinds of things that the middle class, to increase the middle class, which is shrinking down, to help the poor, to get people off the streets, to go to the inner circles and help those people get off and get education, healthcare that's going to work. And I watched the Democrats just sit there like this.
Oh, yeah. Didn't you? Yeah.
You've got to be able to stand up and say, that's some good stuff. If you don't do it, I'm going to sit here with a frown on my face, right? And then, of course, you had the Puritans sitting in their white blazers, the women.
Yeah.
Protesting against women's rights.
Yeah.
Because they don't have any in the States. They're all being taken away. If you're in the States now, get out of there because your rights are gone.
Yeah. Yeah. It's...
Back to the kitchen, barefoot and pregnant is where it's going to be.
Here, here.
You know what? I wish I lived back then because, having a job really kind of sucks.
Yeah, except this one. This
yeah,
is the best one.
This is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
But I mean, truthfully, when I was growing up, all I wanted to be was a mom and a wife.
And what is wrong
and
with
have
that?
a beautiful home and work hard to bring my children up right with good ethics and morals.
Wholesome.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm proud of the women that live in this country that do that and are able to do
And
that.
have the right to do it.
And not many are these days because everybody has to have 2 incomes, So hey, if we went back to that, I think there'd be a lot of women jumping on that bandwagon.
Yeah. Now, he did make mention of Canada a couple of times, and he did talk about our great immigration policy. I disagree with you, Mr. Trump. There's something we definitely disagree on. I think we got a problem, but he was being nice to Canada, which is nice because that means that, he's taking care of his, but he'll take care of us.
It's going to screw us over some other way.
Possibly. Well, speaking of screwing us over, let's talk about the Premier of Ontario here in Canada.
Oh my gosh, Kathleen Wynne. I don't even want to call her the Premier of Ontario.
Just call her Wynne.
Yeah, no, she's not. We're not
there's-
winning
yeah,
anything with her. Cutting Hydro. She just seems so sleazy now and two-faced and
It's just so they don't
talking
before
out
you
the
go-
other side of her face.
Yeah, so people in other countries who need to know, hydro is electric. We always have to remind people of that.
Yeah.
And a lot of the power was created from electric power in Niagara Falls, which
Yeah.
is where we're at. And so now she's going to give us a 25% reduction soon. The word is soon. In that,
In the
of course,
summertime.
Yes, the 8% HST, which is a tax, was taken off. So that includes that. They wouldn't tell you that, but when you break it down, you find out the 8% is actually in there.
Yeah.
So it's actually 17%. It's not enough. And the big boondoggle and the botch and everything that they have done, and it's not just Wynne's Liberals, it's Dalton McKinty's Liberals who helped to put the solar stuff in, the gas plant fiasco.
Green power, and they took away the coal fire. That whole deal went down. Come on. They made this problem happen. They made it happen. And now we're going to pay for it. And now we're going to pay for it longer because now the amortization of that money is going to be spread over till 2032 minimum, right? So, I mean, we're going to be paying for it for a long time.
Do you think she has some banker friends?
Yeah.
Could be a cut there. No, I'm
They-
just kidding. She'd never do that. She's
We're being hosed and Canadian people,
and
you
hosed
better
over.
wake up to the fact in Ontario we're being hosed.
And the thing is, let's not look for ways to spend more money. Let's look for ways for you to cut and pay and get rid of some of that stuff. Break some of those contracts. The wind turbines that are doing nothing, that are costing us all kinds of money.
Why were
Get rid
they
of-
even put up to begin with?
I figure somebody's pockets must
Yeah,
have filled
got
up.
lined.
And so, and then we go to Nanticoke, which is on Lake Erie. It was a coal-fired plant, most efficient. I talked to an engineer a couple of weeks ago who was involved in that project. Most efficient, had minimal, very, very minimal emissions. That plant has been decimated. Even if we wanted to turn it on, if we ran into trouble, you can't. It's been decimated. It's just
Done.
sitting there doing nothing, and killed the whole area where people were employed.
And I love that she said, "Oh, we got to discuss the elephant in the room." Really, the elephant in the room? You mean the bomb that went off in Ontario?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So now we're going to allow this to happen just once. But our director, tell us about Wynne, your opinion on Wynne.
He's so
Very
passionate.
quickly,
John is so passionate
Where
about-
should she be? Come right out here and tell
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Quickly, John.
Wynne for prison.
Say it the way you usually do to us.
Yeah.
No, because then I'm going to lose it. I've already lost it.
All right, go back
You should have
behind.
said a few other things that I told you to say. You didn't say.
back behind.
I'm a very upset man.
As many Ontarians are and should be.
Wynne for prison.
Why did it take her so long to change her mind? Why is this taking so long?
How about the lowest ratings of approval ever
for the Liberal Party ever? Yeah, do you think they're getting back in? I don't think so.
Now wait till she gets on where she's replacing mother and father on the birth certificate. Because who has a mother and father, right?
Oh yeah, right. Of course.
Yeah,
That's
just birth
just
parents.
another thing we want to.
One more nasty thing before we break and get
All
into
right.
some fun stuff.
Okay.
Dr. Reiki is the veterinarian who is now back with his
Practicing.
license after he was beating animals.
Skyway
dogs,
Animal Hospital in
in
St.
St.
Catharines.
which we did a show on.
Yeah.
Now, we did a show with an NHL wife from the Nashville Predators.
Yeah.
And that was a show we did a while ago. We're going to replay the piece that she did
Yeah.
so that you understand she's so passionate about it,
Yeah,
as
she
we
is.
are.
She has 4 rescue dogs, so I mean, it's not like she doesn't. And she
And
has
a rescue
cats.
cat, too, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
right. So I mean, that's a lot of animals that she's rescued from people that were abusing them. So she gets it.
Yeah.
She totally gets it, and
So
so
let-
do a lot of people in
Yeah,
St.
so
Catharines.
let's play it again and listen closely to what she had to say.
Hi, I'm Carly Marie. I'm an animal lover and an NHL wife, and I'm making this video to bring awareness to the animal cruelty case against Dr. Reiki of St. Catharines, and to ask that the Colleges of Veterinarians of Ontario to enforce stricter consequences against him and against any other vet that misuses their power. I'm a proud mom of 3 rescue dogs and a rescue cat, and they mean everything to me. Especially during the hockey season, when the guys are gone, when they're on the road, and I'm home alone, my animals are what make me feel protected and safe. And to think that so many animals needed protection from Dr. Reiki and they didn't have it breaks my heart. This man knew what he was doing. He knew the pain that he was inflicting on these animals, and he needs to never, ever be allowed to work with animals ever again. His license needs to be revoked, and harsher consequences need to be put in place. On behalf of my animals, on behalf of many other NHL wives who are just a community of animal lovers, I ask that you please use your voice and please stand up against animal cruelty. And thank you, Peet and Reet, for everything you've done and for allowing me to use my voice. Thanks.
And if you're an animal lover, I don't think it gets any simpler than that.
Exactly.
The guy should never, ever have his license back,
No,
right?
no, he shouldn't. And he should have got way worse than he did. Unbelievable.
All right, some fun stuff coming up on the other side of this break with Peet and Reet and the Friday wrap.
It's Peet and Reet and the Friday wrap, and this is the part where we get to have a little fun. Not so serious.
Yeah, I'm liking this a whole bunch.
Michael Jackson in the news.
He is?
Well, his mansion is Neverland.
Actually, you've got a couple of people who have passed on, right?
Yeah,
Who
I
seem
know,
like they're
right?
still alive.
I know. Well, their property or people are still making some money, right?
From the grave.
Michael Jackson Neverland Ranch was up for sale 3 years ago for $100 million. They had to slash the price to $67 million because they can't get
Really?
rid of it.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have thought that would be something like you pick it up as a piece of memorabilia and it would just like escalate.
Well, especially it's Michael Jackson. You would think he'd be as big as Elvis, that type of thing, right? Where people would want to have that piece of property. But apparently they've taken a lot of the stuff that was Michael Jackson related away from the property because it's not selling. And they want to get away from the fact that he owned it.
That's surprising. It really is.
yeah, I think it is.
You think nostalgically it would be kind of cool to have something like that. I mean, I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want that stuff, and then you have to take care of it. and
I
fix
guess
it.
the situation and the way he passed away and stuff maybe has something
Yeah.
to do with
Yeah,
that.
could be.
And Elvis, I mentioned Elvis. He's in the news as well because they're opening an entertainment center for Elvis right across from Graceland. 22,000 square foot entertainment center with shopping stores, restaurants, and of course the entertainment center itself, right? But everything in it is Elvis.
It's amazing me. You can die, well, supposedly,
Yeah. And still spend $45 million on a complex.
and make more money than ever.
Oh,
right?
yeah. And Priscilla's going to be there to open it up. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Very,
yeah.
very nice. We were out and about around the town.
We were,
A
yeah.
couple of nights ago. We were comedy for kidneys. Great event. Sold out. Comedians, honestly and truthfully.
Funny. I laughed so hard.
We did. We were killing ourselves.
I know. At one point I thought, if they're not that funny, we'll just hike out of there. But they were too funny. We had to stay.
Yeah, because we have an excuse, right? Oh, we got to go shoot
Yeah.
a segment right now.
We just lie through our teeth. No, but we stayed because it was truly funny. And if you get a chance to go next year, and it is for kidney dialysis, it's great. The money's going for a good thing, but it was really a fun time.
And we did a show. We interviewed all the comedians.
Comedians, yeah.
So you'll
That's
see
gonna
that
come up.
coming up shortly. Just stay in touch with the Peet and Reet YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, share if you haven't done that.
Yeah.
Real simple to get to. Just search the Peet and Reet show.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of like this. Yeah. It looks a lot like that, actually.
I think it does.
And then we got the Dina Martin show, which we delayed. It was supposed to go last week, but we delayed it because there was a pile of stuff that we were doing, and we've got so much editing going on, and our editors and
Yeah,
John,
they're going crazy.
So so we're holding off on that one.
Yeah.
And then
But it will be coming up.
Yeah, Burt Ward. We had to delay that. My mom went in the hospital.
Yeah.
And here's something I want to talk about very quickly, because if you've got a parent or somebody in your family who's a senior, which is something I didn't realize either, that if you get a urinary tract infection, which is a UTI, which is what they call it,
Right.
it can actually get into your blood when you're older and give you dementia and all kinds of things, and you go septic, you can die from it.
Yeah.
And my mom came really, really close.
Wow. Yeah. You become totally incapacitated, don't know where you are, talking strange, and like you said.
And
died
you know
from
what?
it.
She actually, at first, I didn't realize what was happening, because the first day she was okay when we got her to the hospital, right? Second day, she was talking, and I started laughing, and I go, Mom, what are you talking about, right? And she truly thought there was a Norseman standing beside us. Well, how do you pick that? And-
Of all things, horns. Really?
Yeah, exactly. And then during that time, my wife's uncle passed away,
Yeah,
Dragan
sorry.
Rusic, and I just want to send out condolences to them. He was a great guy, great family, and so it was a lot of things going on last week, so we had to postpone Burt Ward, but he said that he understood and he was going to be able to do that show.
He'll be coming up, so definitely check that out.
All right. Have we wrapped it all up?
I think we've wrapped.
Once again, it's all done. And we'll leave you alone for another week till we see you next Friday on the Friday Wrap with Peet and Reet. Until then, God bless you all. Helpful. We need when you don't prepare. And no, it keeps going in my head. Raindrops keep falling on my head. And that's
Just doesn't.
We had to work last night.
Yes. Raindrops are falling on my head. That's why you are on. For the dead, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops keep falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun. And I said I didn't like the way he got things done. Sleeping on the job, that's pretty much what we do.
Game over. We're
All right.